Hi, everybody. Good morning. I had a letter from a parent that I thought everybody could pretty much relate to. I know I could. So I wanted to share the story that he sent to me. And next, I wanted to actually show you some steps that I'm going to recommend to this parent because I've been through those steps and they've helped me an awful lot. Okay, so here's where we're going to start. The father wrote to me and he said, I have these two amazing kids. They are brilliant. They are intense. We love spending time with them. We hang out with them all the time. We use all our spare time with them, but our days are full of crazy ups and downs. When we ask them to do something, they have these big reactions. Sometimes they hit us. When we try to do things as a family, they get in each other's way and they react to each other, and we are at the end of our ropes. Um, this is not a rare story. This is a very, very, very common story. But what I loved was just how all in this parent was. He said, just tell me what to do. Like, I think all I really need is some clear instructions. I don't need judgment. I don't need psychoanalysis. I don't need somebody to tell me that I have a problem. I know I have a problem. I just need to know what to do. So, since I have this really handy printout of a series of steps that I've been using, I'm going to actually share with you how I've been using the steps in the Calm the Chaos framework. Maybe first I'll tell you how I used to use these steps and why it didn't work at all. Okay, so as you know, I've been a behavior therapist for a long time and I'm pretty good at analyzing behavior. So when I became a parent, I thought, all right, I got this. I'm going to figure you out. I'm going to figure you out. I'm going to tell you guys what to do. You're going to do it. I'm going to be a strong parent. I've read all the books. I'm fine. This is where I went wrong. So if you look at the framework, there's actually, ooh, there we go. You can see that the steps, hopefully it's not backwards. You can see first we connect, then we analyze, then we listen and love, we make a plan, then we empower, and then we reconnect. Oh, you can't see it very well. Okay, that's better. This is where I was going wrong. I thought I knew what the problem was, so I came in and I analyzed. Okay, you need to do more of this, you're not doing enough of that. Then I came in with a plan and I said, guys, this is what we're doing, and this is why you should do it, and this is what will happen if you don't do it. So I was trying my very best to be a leader, and I was getting so much pushback because my family was full of individuals and they had their own thoughts and feelings about how things should go. They had their own plans, and they were pretty good at analyzing my behavior. So we were all pushing against each other, kind of trying to go in opposite directions. This is what it looks like when you go through the framework. This is what I've learned to do. I don't know if I'm all the way through it yet, but the nice thing is, if you actually follow that link, you can print this out, you can follow it step by step, and there's 7 more pages of the details and the breakdown. So I'm just going to give you this skim over the top, and I highly encourage you to go get the rest. But for this dad, who just felt at a loss because every moment seemed to be a moment that this is the overall general process that I would recommend. Okay, so it starts with connect. Sorry, you can't see very well. Connecting, I thought it meant being really positive with your kids. And so I was doing that all day long, loving on them like crazy. What I was missing is that I was not connecting with myself. When my behavior didn't meet my own standards, I was hard on myself. I didn't really know how to cope when things didn't go the way I wanted them to go. So I was controlling my behavior. I was very strong and determined, but I didn't really feel okay inside. So one thing that Dana, who designed this framework, one thing she does really well is she recognizes that that sense of trusting yourself and being gentle with yourself is really, really key before you jump in with all the strategies. So that's part of the connection. Another part of the connection is having the time. I know it must be frustrating not seeing this. to see your child's superpowers, to not just see the behavior, the way it's affecting you, but to see what your child is amazing at. Because sometimes when a kid has a really cool ability, they will try to use that ability for everything. So if your child is really creative, they might be trying to do everything in a super, super creative way. If you're saying, no, let's just do it in the simplest way possible, you're really working against the grain. So knowing their superpowers is a great way to start out. And so I haven't talked to this parent about his child's superpowers yet, but I bet they're there. Next is analyzing. We've talked about analyzing all day, really understanding your child's needs. Dana does a great job. She describes so many of the different ways that kids tell us what they need, and what they might be needing underneath. Not just emotionally, oh, I'm worried that my computer just broke down. Hopefully you're still with me. Okay, let's keep going. The third step is called listen and learn. I think that was a big game changer for me, because I would, as the person who's in charge of all the behavior, come in and say like, okay, that behavior is not all right, you need to fix that, here's what you need to do. My kid was busy having his own perspective on the world, and I was just in there getting in the way, so he was pushing back at me. The way I was able to get more information, to get a deeper connection with my son, is to focus in on the child before I focused in on the behavior. So that's been super, super helpful. Step 4 is make a plan. The beautiful thing about this approach is that it's not just mom making the plan, dad making the plan, or even both parents, or whatever situation you have. It's not just one person taking a top-down approach. Dana walks you through how to create a foundation so that everybody can talk about what they want and give their ideas. As you know, when a kid has an idea, that's the best idea. So if you know how to get to the point where you are inviting ideas and you're actually getting something other than like, oh, I don't know, or I don't want to talk about it, if you are able to get that, well, I don't like this, but maybe we could do it this way, you can say, all right, let's try that plan, let's go for it. That's also, I find that such a relief when you're a parent and you see things breaking down. You want to teach something in that moment. You want a lesson. You want to say like, oh, I've got to have a consequence for this, or else they'll never learn that we have to do it the other way. In step 4, you can say to your kids, we cannot keep doing things this way. Let's make a plan so we can do things another way. It's a lot more collaborative, and you're not counting on, I'm going to make you miserable so that you remember. You're actually inviting your kids to be a part of reformulating and rebooting that situation. That'll get you a pretty long way. If you're still in it, you can go for step 5 and step 6. These are like, whew, next level. This isn't something that you see overnight. You may start to see glimmers of it. It sometimes takes some time to build. But step 5 is empower. That's when we've gotten really good at regulating ourselves. We've gotten really good at forgiving ourselves, at checking in with other people, and our kids start to pick up on it. They start to follow that model. Not only that, they start to see how they can do it with other people, even the adults. I've actually seen this happen, well, in my family and also in other people in the group, where the kids start getting so good at using these skills, they will actually start using them like with you when you're having a hard time, or with siblings. The dream, I think every parent comes in to this really hoping, like, when is my child going to get these self-regulation skills? That really happens after we are able to cope with ourselves, we're able to deal gently with each other. I think that translates over time for our child to be able to do it with themselves. And then with other people, which is like, whoa, amazing. Okay, finally, the step is reconnect. Reconnecting is sometimes part of the recovery process when things go off the rails. It's something that I think I have not prioritized. I didn't have that example. I just thought like, all right, we dealt with that problem, on to the next thing. And sometimes the relationships in the family were not, were a little brittle. And we weren't ready to move to the next expectation without kind of rebuilding that bond. So I really hope that this dad is able to watch the video and see that process. I know that it's not broken down in all the little steps. I'm going to really strongly encourage you to go and get the whole thing. So you've got every little step, and there's actually a whole course starting today. It was so insanely popular. I don't actually know if the site is up, but keep trying if it hasn't gotten back online yet, because I bet there is just a mad rush for the doors. What it will do is it will take you through all these steps and show you how to use it with all different kinds of kids over 12 weeks. And you get a whole gang of people to do it with you. And I signed up actually a couple of years ago. I'm still friends with these people. Like, they're my tribe. The other thing is, for the cost of this course, if you worked with a psychologist, a counselor, even me, you get 12 weeks of support for the same cost as working for about 3 weeks with a professional. So it's really, really, really worth it. You can keep all the stuff. You can come back to it again and again. It's so much fun to get the kids involved. They love it. It's just wonderful for that kid who is so tired of hearing your thoughts and strategies and advice. It really, really helps to reboot. So I hope you go over there and check it out. They're lovely people. And those are the lessons that I learned along the way. So hope you enjoy. Talk to you soon. And if you want to use this thread to ask me any questions you have, go for it.